Greetings all and welcome back, and thanks for being a part of the program. It's Monday and it's also the 7th day of October, yes, already. Weather-wise, well, we'll be talking about October weather. Not October-like, but October weather. In fact, we've got very likely some frosty situations in your 7-day, perhaps on a couple of different occasions. I'll have that for you in just a few seconds. However, in addition to that, we will primarily focus tonight, sadly and tragically, on lives. People who lost their lives on roads since I saw you last. Since I was not able to be with you on Friday, that will also go back and include a young woman who was killed Thursday in West Liberty, Morgan County. And then 2 McGoffin Countyans, as many of you know, were killed in tragic, violent car crashes over the course of the weekend. 2 separate crashes, one being a senior at the McGoffin County High School. We will cover all of that, and then we will cover not just your weather, but also, of course, Hurricane Milton, which is just ramping up to be another record-setting storm. Hurricane Cat 5 right now that is going to hit parts of Florida, which have, of course, already seen and are still trying to just begin to cover from Hurricane Helene. They're scrambling right now just to try to get all that debris up as much as possible because it just makes it that much more dangerous than another big storm coming through. Stay tuned. We'll talk about all of that in as much detail as I can pass along to you in just a moment. For whatever reason, if your working days are over, don't do anything before you meet Grover. Social Security, disability, SSI, work injuries, wear and tear, and hearing loss. 888-9-GROVER. Green Tree Forest Products wants to buy your timber. Our skilled log procurement team has 4 generations and 70 years of experience buying over 24 million feet of hardwoods every year, which means you'll get the most dollars out of your logs and timber by calling any of our 3 locations in Salyersville, Moorhead, or Wallingford, Kentucky. In the Salyersville and surrounding area, call 495-1198. Green Tree Forest Products. Whether you've got a new ride and you want it to stand out in the crowd, or you want your current ride to look and feel like a new one, no one does lifts, wheels, and tires better than Conley's. Stop in now for spring tire specials, free quotes, and 0% financing, or log on to conleytire.net. Thanks to you, Fraser's Prater Drug has been voted #1 in customer satisfaction with Good Neighbor Pharmacies for the 7th year in a row. With curbside pickup for all of your prescription, allergy, or even multivitamin needs. Or come in and pull up a stool while you shop, or just visit downtown and treat yourself to something extra tasty or sweet, where locally owned means a more personal, reliable, and friendly pharmacy. Fraser's Prater Drug. Summer is wrapping up, and that means back to school, football games, fall, and all the wonderful things that go with it. And the seasonal shop has got a large selection of McGoffin and UK merchandise ready to go. Beautiful jewelry and accessories to complement all of your outfits. And for the teachers, a full line of spa and pampering products that are perfect to help relieve a little stress after some long days. Fragrance lines to help maybe any classroom or dorm room feel more like home. And as always, a beautiful selection of home decor. If you haven't been in lately, very lately, stop in and get a preview of some of their fall and Christmas colors and styles. And remember, local delivery and layaway at the seasonal shop. Experience over 30 years of exceptional, impeccable elegance and beauty at Seasons Florist, now in Salyersville, offering the very freshest in floral designs, custom and in-stock wreaths, arrangements, gifts, and so much more that you'll have to visit to try to see it all. Plus, they have tuxedo rental, free delivery within the city limits of Salyersville, and you can even place orders after hours. Call anytime. Seasons Florist on Parkway Drive, 349-4000.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Had I been able to be here with you on Friday, I would have had a report about a young lady who was killed in a two-vehicle crash in Morgan County on Thursday afternoon. It was a passenger car and a commercial vehicle, a box truck in Morgan County, that collided. Kentucky State Police handled the accident and reconstruction, and they confirmed to us over the course of the weekend that 31-year-old Montana Price of West Liberty was driving in her passenger car on 519 when she, for an unreported reason or unknown, crossed the center line and then went into the path of the large box truck that was driven by a Grayson man identified as 29-year-old Braden Evans. He had a passenger, a man with him, 36-year-old Zachary Martin. Price, we know, was pronounced dead at the scene by the coroner's office out of Morgan County. We know that the driver of the box truck was transported via air helicopter to the University of Kentucky for critical or serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Serious but non-life-threatening. The passenger in the box truck as well was taken by ground ambulance to a Moorhead facility and was last listed as stable condition there. Also, on a somewhat personal note, the Morgan County Judge Executive's office issued a statement shortly after learning of the passing of Miss Price, saying that she was a dedicated and invaluable member of their county team, and her presence will be deeply missed by all who knew her. They say that Montana's infectious laughter and positive spirit brightened everyone's day at the Wellness Center, and her unwavering commitment to her work and her genuine care for others made her a true inspiration, and that they were fortunate to have had her as part of their team. One other traffic-related announcement in Morgan County, this due to a temporary closure. If you travel Kentucky 437 in Morgan County, Williams Branch in the Dingus area, well, you'll have to find a workaround day after tomorrow. They're closing the road at mile point 5. They're replacing a drainage pipe. They're going to start around 8:30, probably a half a day's work or a little bit longer, but just during that time, know that you'll have to find a workaround. That's between Lick Branch and Paulina Branch roads. No marked detour will be posted, but I'm sure most everyone traveling that area knows how to try to get around. But again, only to about 1 or 2 o'clock they expect, and then the work should be completed. It was Friday night that a total of 3 vehicles were involved in what turned out to be a deadly crash here in Magoffin County. The first of 2 Magoffin Countians that would die on 114 over the course of the weekend. This was the scene, as was described by Magoffin County Sheriff Bill Meade. He says that his men were some of the first to arrive law enforcement-wise and assisted the Kentucky State Police thereafter with their reconstruction. But it appears to have been an accident or accidents that started by a woman driving recklessly. Other motorists had already been on the phone calling Magoffin County Dispatch 911, notifying them of a reckless driver nearly hitting cars, traveling at a high rate of speed. The accident that claimed the life of a local man happened while that caller was still on the line with dispatchers.
Magoffin County 911 received a call of a reckless driver traveling at a high rate of speed, running vehicles off the road, traveling west on Restaurant Row, traveling in the direction of Prestonsburg. The vehicle was said to have run the red light there at the high school and down at Burning Fork. The vehicle approximately a mile on 114 and struck a vehicle that was attempting to make a turn into their driveway. The collision occurred in front of the man's residence and caused the vehicle to spin around, causing a secondary impact with another vehicle. The individual that was turning into the residence was later transported for medical care, and it's my understanding that he passed away on the way. The collision was being worked by the Kentucky State Police. They're doing a reconstruction, and they will be handling whatever criminal charges that should arise from this collision.
Charges, which include vehicular homicide while being under the influence of alcohol and others that I'll detail and more in just a few moments. Members of our crew spoke with law enforcement on scene, who said that the woman, who suffered only a literally small scratch to her leg that could have been covered by a Band-Aid, said that she was on her way to Pikeville from Louisville for a fundraising event related to flooding in Tennessee or North Carolina. While they counted at least 6 different types of alcohol or alcohol containers in the car in which she was driving, at one point the suspect sitting next to her own crashed car asking authorities who was driving this car. And I've also confirmed that there is existing video of this crash taking place from a local surveillance system, which shows that it appears as though the driver made zero attempt to slow down and did not hit her brakes at all while traveling at an estimated 70 to 80 miles per hour after running numerous red lights coming up 114 headed towards Prestonsburg, striking Mr. Roger Arnott of McGoffin County, who was at or nearing his residential driveway at the time. And after the Louisville woman plowed into the back of Mr. Arnott's car, his car then was pushed into the opposite lane of travel and struck by an oncoming vehicle, also driven by a McGoffin County man who suffered serious injuries as well. While Mr. Arnott was loaded into an ambulance to be transported to a nearby landing zone established behind the Sagersville subway, however, his condition quickly got worse, and he was instead rushed by ground to the Paintsville ARH, where he was pronounced dead moments later. As the suspect seen here just prior to being given field sobriety tests appeared to be posing for our camera.
Shake it out since it's a host. No, I need lunch. Okay.
And after that investigation, Sarah Caitlin Sperling, 33 of Louisville, Kentucky, was charged and booked in the Big Sandy for vehicular homicide while under the influence, driving under the influence with aggravated circumstances, and wanton endangerment in the first degree. That accident, again, was Friday night, and 114 was closed for a number of hours, several hours, while authorities could reconstruct the scene and continue their investigation. And that leads us to this morning, when I went to the McGoffin County Board of Education, where I had already had an appointment to sit down with Superintendent Chris Meadows and talk about test scores, which were just released last week. Some good news for McGoffin County schools that we were going to share with you tonight. However, just as soon as I walked in the door, the mood dramatically changed, as school personnel learned that a fatal accident that took place in Floyd County last night near Prestonsburg Elementary claimed the life of a senior at McGoffin County High.
You know, it's never easy to deal with a situation like this. So this is not the first time that we've had to deal with losing a student, but it never gets any easier. It's a tragic accident. We don't have a lot of information. I've just heard about it recently, of the events that took place late last night, I imagine, but our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, to the entire school community, and having spoken with Mr. Conley this morning, I know that he is making plans to have counselors on hand for students there at the school in the coming days.
And I have very few other details to be able to share with you at this time, but what I can share is that the state police have confirmed to us today that last night, right before 9:30, a young McGoffin County couple was coming home, traveling in the direction you see here that the camera's facing, towards Sagersville on 114. The driver of the vehicle was Kenny Auxer. His girlfriend, maybe even fiancée, 17-year-old Kayla Nicole Elam, was his passenger. Their vehicle was struck head-on by a 2010 Honda Insight that was being operated by Keith Anderson. I have no details about Mr. Anderson, his condition, or any other information at this hour. All I confirm is that young Miss Elam was taken to a nearby hospital and then later pronounced dead just a short time later from the serious injuries she sustained in that crash. We also know that her boyfriend, Kenny Auksher, was transported, I believe, ultimately either from the scene or from a medical facility to a trauma center, I'm told, in Tennessee for the severity of his injuries as well. I'll have some obituary information for both Mr. Arnott and for Miss Elam in just a few moments. I'll be right back.
I wonder, could this be our last trip together? What if I upset him? He might never call again. But what if I don't say anything?
Hey, Dad. Is something wrong?
Actually, are you okay?
If someone you know or love is struggling, contact Big Sandy Healthcare today.
Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Johnson Central High School stands alone in providing the most college and career programs of study in one building throughout the entire state of Kentucky. This includes pathways in everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County schools.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small-town values.
And Mom and Dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
Let's go on over to tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar for a couple of reminders before we go any further, and one being a big weekend coming up this Saturday for the folks at North McGoffin Volunteer Fire Department and everyone else who takes, and there's a lot of everyone else who takes part in this annual event. It's their big annual hog roast and soup bean dinner and auction this Saturday. They'll start serving dinner at noon. The auction starts at 2. The live entertainment starts at noon. No reason not to go check it out. Always a bunch of great auction items and a great deal. $7 per dinner, and kids 12 and under get in free, giving you a few extra dollars to spend on the auction maybe, or donate to the fire department's their biggest fundraiser of the year, and they hope that you can stop by and have some fun with them above all else. And our friends at the New Beginnings Church, Christian Fellowship Church here in Sagersville, they've got a meal for you tomorrow. That's right. Homemade vegetable soup, crackers, grilled cheese, or peanut butter sandwich with dessert and a drink, just $10, and they will bring it to you. That's right, deliver in the Sagersville downtown area. This is tomorrow, 11 till 2. Call to place your order, 349-4142. That is tomorrow, and they'll be having one again, I think, on this Thursday. It's going to be a hot dog dinner, and they've got several dates already for the rest of October. I'll remind you about that then, right after I remind you that this is how you get announcements like these on the program. From there, we'll turn to tonightly obituaries brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Sadly, we've learned of the passing of a longtime Sagersville businessman and resident, Herman Dyer, who, of course, opened and started and ran Sagersville Funeral Home. Dyer's Sagersville Funeral Home. Herman was 89 when he passed away on Saturday, survived by his wife of 69 years, Lois, as well as his daughters, Sandra Cummings and Vanessa Zeller, 4 grandkids, Brian Michael Parker, Amanda Parker, Allison Keos, and Douglas Zeller Jr., several great-grandchildren, his sisters, Esther Maddox and Connie Howard, his brothers, Gerald Dyer and Paul James Dyer. And services for Herman are going to be held this Thursday morning at 11 from the chapel of the funeral home he built. The Sagersville Funeral Home visitation will be Wednesday after 1 o'clock. And 64-year-old Roger Lee Arnott of Sagersville passed away Friday, as I said earlier. Son of the late Wishart and Justine Sloan Arnott, he's survived by his sons, Brandon Lee and Corey Ryan Arnott, a brother, Darrell Wayne, sisters, Betty Collins, Wanda Patrick Basham, Vicki Williams, and 3 grandkids. He's preceded in death by his son, Jeremy, and funeral services for Mr. Arnott will be held this Thursday at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Friends can call on the funeral home Wednesday evening from 6 until 9 for visitation. And lastly, arrangements still being made at this hour for 17-year-old Kayla Nicole Elam of Sagersville, who passed away last night at Highlands ARH. Those arrangements to be announced soon through the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Pennies, and I mean pennies on the dollar in Paintsville. New items every week at Outlaw Bargain Pallet Store. Household goods, tools, toys, makeup, home decor, and so much more. And they're right by Outlaw Thrift and Consignment, the area's biggest and best consignment, full of new, nearly new, and gently loved kids and adult clothing, name brands, new styles, and most everything in the store is only $2. Shop and save it both on Main Street in Paintsville. East Kentucky's premier entertainment venue is here. Pick your game at Outlaw Axe Country in Paintsville. Axe throwing, bull riding, cornhole, billiards, a full arcade, inflatables, and more. And don't forget to cash out with prizes and mine for gems before you go. Open 7 days a week and built for fun for 1 to 100. That's Outlaw Axe Country on Broadway in Paintsville. And snack on one of your favorites, Carnival Cravings, while you're there. Call for more or to book a party at 372-4FUN. Now let's talk about the weather. Another monster storm headed towards Florida, impacting some parts of Florida which are still just trying to get back to even thinking about normalcy. And in fact, they're scrambling, trying to get up as much hurricane debris from Helene as possible before what is now a Cat 5 Milton tears through this Wednesday. It's just hard to comprehend what these folks are getting ready to go through again, as Hurricane Milton rapidly intensified today, going from a Cat 4 to a very dangerous Category 5 hurricane. That means sustained winds of 160 miles per hour, and you can see its projected path, and forecasters are pretty well in concert. They believe this is going to be close to, if not exactly, where this monster of a storm is going to go, making landfall. Should be lessening, maybe to a Cat 3 by then. They're hoping at least that, but hitting land in Florida right around 7, 8 o'clock on Wednesday evening before crossing the state and going on off into the Atlantic, not affecting weather, of course, in other parts of the country that saw so much coming from Hurricane Helene, but nevertheless. Milton is a hurricane. It's one of only about 40 ever that have gone to a Category 5 in the Atlantic, and one of 7 to have gone from a Category 1 to a Category 5 in less than a day. That's 24 hours. It is going to be brutal. The storm surge is going to be bad. The winds are going to be bad. The rainfall estimates are, again, just all over the chart. And as you can see here, a little better of an idea as to where Milton is now churning and where it is projected to hit right around the heart of Tampa. While on a local level, again, Kentucky and many other states, well, all other states are not going to have any issues from it, but Florida most definitely deserves to be in everyone's hearts and prayers. While we are going to see some chilly weather here, and I don't say that lightly either, beginning with tonight, 38 degrees expected for nighttime lows tonight. You can throw a little clear sky action and some patchy fog in there, which is, and we've got a very consistent forecast as far, take the temperatures out of it, it is super consistent with fog, sunny, clear skies, start to finish each and every day almost throughout your 7-day. I topped out at 76 today here in downtown Sagersville. We're not going to see that quite tomorrow. In fact, only 71 if we're lucky after 38 chilly degrees tonight and in the morning. Look for some fog, and we've got a few frosty mornings to potentially be on the lookout for. Tomorrow morning, 38's not impossible. Don't necessarily see it being that significant. But look a little further on down the line. 71 tomorrow for your Tuesday. Fog in the AM, sunny skies, clear at night. Back down to 38 again tomorrow night. We see a consistent 71 again on your Wednesday, and nighttime lows are going to stay just above the 40-degree mark, we believe, around 41 or so. Fog in the morning, sunny in the day, clear at night. Thursday, however, the first of a couple of scenarios where the temperatures take a hit. 68 your high again, 34 your low, and sunny and clear start to finish. Friday, still in the upper 60s, 38 again for nighttime lows. In the 30s we will go. Fog, sunny, and clear. Fog, sunny, and clear through Saturday, where we still have temperatures climbing to 74 and 49 for your high or low. And then Sunday, a little warmer still at 76. Fog again in the morning. Some sunny skies during the day. Nighttime lows in the upper 40s again before they fall right back down to the low 60s this time at 62 for this day. Next week right now, and we're a long way out, but that's what it's looking like. And mid-30s again for nighttime lows. You'll notice that there's a 20% chance of some showers, not storms, but showers late Sunday night and into your Monday. That's, I don't want to say insignificant, but pretty much at this point. But man, you've got some cool mornings and nights ahead. Fall is here. That'll wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.